Okay, I'm sorry about that. The phone's been ringing off the hook, people, and driving me up the wall. So let's get back to what I was talking about. Okay, let's get down to the basics. Tools, you don't need them. Instead of a chalice, use a cup. This cup has just as much magical ability as any chalice that you can buy. Instead of a wand, use a finger. Instead of a sword, use a finger. Instead of an athame, use a knife. Butter knife, steak knife, has just as many qualities. In fact, my finger has more magical qualities than any wand or sword. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on that. As far as books go, you need book knowledge. But you don't necessarily have to buy the books. If your friend or someone that you know has a book that you want to read, borrow it from them. And they'll probably let you borrow it if you prove yourself not to be a klepto and never return it. So return the damn books. They also have these books in the library. Yeah. Get a library card. It's free. If there's very significant things in those books that you want to keep, write it down. Put it in your Book of Shadows. Book of Shadows doesn't need to be very expensive either. For example, my Book of Shadows is simply a black binder. Nothing scary, nothing gothic, and especially nothing very expensive. In books, there's certain things you should be looking up, such as what do the herbs and oils mean, and what do they stand for? What do the stones and crystals stand for? What do colors stand for? You can look these things up in books. And as I said before, you don't even need to buy the books. But also, you can look them up on the internet. You can find them all over the internet. It is plastered everywhere there. That is absolutely free. I suggest you look it up, write it down, and put it in your Book of Shadows. Simple as that. There's not many things that I recommend. Everybody has different things in their Book of Shadows, but I think everybody should have the list of stones and crystals, the list of the oils and herbs, and the list of colors. Because you're going to always have to reference that. Nobody remembers that stuff right off the top of their head. And, even if they do, there's no need for it. Why should you have to do that? Also, the Wheel of the Year should be in your Book of Shadows. Everything else is up to you, whether it be ceremonies and circles or spells or whatever. That's up to you. But I think those are just the basic things that need to be in there. Now, a lot of people say that you should make your own Wheel of the Year. Again, I am not artistically inclined. So I looked this up, and I actually happened to find it on the internet. So I printed it out, and I will show it to you. And I love it because it's pretty. There you go. The words are backwards. You can see it, though. It is a beautiful Wheel of the Year. And, yeah, I just found that on the net. Cost me nothing. As far as your Book of Shadows go, it doesn't have to be a big, scary, gothic-looking book. Go down to the dollar store, get yourself a binder, write things on paper and put it in the binder. Go down to the dollar store, get yourself a notebook, same thing. You run out of room, you get a new notebook. Simple as that. So, yeah, there goes the myth that everything has to be expensive or boogity looking, it all works the same, okay? As far as questions, you need to ask questions. Now, if you go up to someone and they give you the attitude, that's probably someone that's an elitist. And it's also probably someone that you really don't want to ask a question of, because they want to make it look like they know the answer to what you asked, and it's just not worth their time. When in all reality, they probably don't know the answer. Remember, don't let anyone guilt you into not asking questions. I've been practicing for years, And I will tell you, I still have questions. And remember, the stupidest question you can ever have is the one that was not asked. And I don't care if someone gives how long someone's been practicing. If someone gives you that attitude, then they don't know that one and only simple fact that the stupidest question is the one that not asked. And so therefore I would not value their opinion. Also, if you ask 10 witches 10 different questions, you're going to get 15 different answers. So ask, listen, compare, and make your own judgment. That's pretty much all I've got to say. If you have any questions, you can send me a personal message in my box. You can send me a text comment, or you can send me a video response. Oh, also, I also have the Wiccan Rede in my Book of Shadows, simply because that's another tool. You know, when people think of the Wiccan Rede, they think of the last line, and harm none, do what ye will. And that's just the last line. If you read the entire Wiccan Rede, it actually gives you clues into, you know, what should and should not be done, when things should be done, with what, all that stuff. Again, it's a personal reference, but remember, if something doesn't work for you, if you read about, well, I need to use beech for this and willow for that as far as wood goes and all that stuff, and it doesn't seem to be clicking in your heart, concentrate on it and use something that works in your heart, because remember, it's personal, and it's your intent, and it's your feelings, and it's your heart. Alright? Thank you very much for listening to my ramblings, and blessed be.